Hello, brothers and sisters of light and dark. Welcome to my live Facebook feed, in which I try to talk about common sense and everything of English, writing, discussing, chatting. Okay, I'm not doing my intro. Okay, I just woke up. And so, as you should already know, that you guys make my life more exciting, okay? I love you all, okay? But remember one thing. I can't possibly father all of you, okay? I can't. Some people ask me in the inbox, hey, can you show me attention? 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 I say, hey, this is why I do these live feeds sometimes. A little bit about me again, so you won't forget, okay? I am a very native English national speaker, okay? It's my native tongue. I was born and raised in America. My name is Mandel. Hello, how are you doing, Fountain Rio-san? Everyone who comes in here, say hi or say hello so I can know that you are watching, okay? I do these videos from time to time throughout the weekdays or the weekends, so you must turn on your notification. Please share my group. Of course, this group is specifically for American native English speakers and teachers, because I am a dynamic teacher. And of course, you may not be able to pay attention to me if your English you're still learning. You're still a beginner. But you should write down some sentence structures and some words so I can read your sentences and I can help you with your pronunciation, okay? And also your pronunciation, okay? And I just want to make it clear that I am a dynamic teacher. I am not a professional academic teacher. In my opinion, learning the professional side of English, American style, okay, takes a great deal of time and effort. While dynamic is a little bit of professional, but mostly memorization. Because most Americans are not fluent like myself, okay, in English, okay? They are not comedians, they are not animated, they are not like myself, because I am unique in my own fashion. I am clear and pristine. I am an alpha male, which means I speak directly to you, and I don't hold my tongue back, okay? Sometimes I may swear and say shit, motherfucker. If you're a sensitive type, it's harder for you to learn English. If you want to go to academic side, you want to go to the professional side, you want to go to the professional side, you can. I live in America, and you have free rights too as well. When it comes to media, you should not listen to the media. When it comes to reading, you shouldn't really all listening to reading. You should listen to your what? Heart. You make decisions upon what you desire in life. If you want to be intelligent, you can read more. You could become a renaissance. But I do have a topic to talk about today. But I'm going to wait for a little bit so everyone can join me and to write down how your day was. How was your day, Fountain Rio-san? Okay. How was your day, Reham? Okay, because I see you watching me, but the live video number up there only shows one person watching, but I know that there's more than one, okay? So Facebook's algorithms and network situations, I don't know who's to blame for that. I don't know. I just know my internet is very high and it's not low, okay? Because my internet would basically cut out, okay? And since this 5G is kind of running through for everyone, if your internet is cutting off and on, then it may be on your side. So I don't think it's my side. Okay, I think it's a combination of networks clashing to one another. And I believe that if the New World Order did exist without a socialism type of country and world, then we all would have 4G. Okay, let the Republicans take over. Let the elites take over. Because obviously, if there are individuals who have all that wealth, even if it's through war, okay, then they're the smarter, more stronger. You always join the strong side, not the weak. You have to become strong, okay? You have to have tough love in your life in order to be disciplined to learn and to, teach yourself, as a matter of fact. Okay? Even if you are a minority, okay? We already know how this world works, and you should do more research so you can understand how this is a dog eat dog. That's an idiom. Means every man for himself. A dog eat dog world. It is a very cold world. It's an exciting world if you take the sadistic approach. Okay, that means that you don't want to be living in paradise. That's why you're not here. We're living both in a purgatory of heaven and hell. Heaven and hell is what you make it. There is no such thing as heaven and hell. That's an emotional attachment. Okay, all right. And so I want to talk to you guys about yourselves, what you would like to talk about. It's not just about me, my brothers and sisters from another mother. Okay? Do you understand? Okay. All right. Because I'm not your average man. I'm not your Peter Pan. And what do I mean by that? What do I mean when I say I'm not your average man? I'm not your Peter Pan. Now, Peter Pan is a Disney character which flies around. He is a white Caucasian male, a fairy type of species, which flies around with magical powers. I don't know if he's a fairy or not, though. I forgot the story of Peter Pan. Just look up Peter Pan. And Peter Pan is represented as a magical gay person, like Tinkle in The Legend of Zelda, okay? He carries balloons. He runs around kind of like feminine, okay? It's not an attribute of a male, okay? They have a feminine traits, okay? So if you want to, I'm not gay, okay? Okay, dog eat dog. Yeah, dog eat dog world. It's a dog eat dog world. Okay, most Americans say dog eat dog world, but it sounds like you're saying doggy dog. Okay, there's a guy named Snoop Dogg in this country. He's a rapper. Okay, a lot of foreign countries are influenced by rap, by American culture. Okay, lots of things come from American culture, which can corrupt most of other external countries, and which I speak upon the masses, because I am a god in this body, temporary. I am glad that we all live less than 100 years old. How you been? I'm going to go down the list. Okay, Ryan Sabuda, okay, said doggy dog. Okay, Jonah says, hi, sir. How are you doing? How are you doing? This is on Facebook Live, okay? Hi there, Edna Sarker. Hi there, how have you been? As I said before, if you're new, my name is Mandel Evans. I am a native English teacher. Dynamic, okay? Very clean, pristine when I speak. I am alpha, so hear me roar, okay? I am not rude and disrespectful, okay? But you don't want to be disrespectful to me, okay? No, 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 no. Born and raised in New York, okay? Brooklyn, New York. Raised in America, the great old USA, the greatest whore of Babylon, okay? which they do eat babies and use the babies as a process or adjective for makeup. Yes, yes. So whatever you hear out there is most likely going to be true. So Americans, not me, most Americans are pretty wicked and unhealthy. Okay? Let's just narrow that in a nutshell. But I don't know about your country because I have not lived out in your country. From Bangladesh, I talked to individuals from Bangladesh to India to Ethiopia to Dubai. I talked to a lot of people, more than most. Okay, I've lived in Ethiopia for 2 years. I travel so I know 22 words in Aramaic. I am not bilingual, however. My main language is English. Hello, how you been, MD? How have you been? My topic for today, if you don't want to write, is about how a solution can be made to fix the matriarch. I heard that India is starting to put a mandatory, prenup. A prenup is when you enter a marriage agreement that if the man is already wealthy, she gets nothing. Regardless if she does bad, he does bad, and that should stay. But I want to push it a little further, because I'm going to post this on YouTube as well. MD Ishmael, how have you been? This can help the world, as a matter of fact. Okay, because women tend to think that they're equal to men, and this is not true, okay? Biologically, okay? But I do not look down on women's. I do not look down on Lilith either, because this world is intended for the greater good and evil, okay? Jonah, okay, Jenna, I like what you. Thank you very much. Lots of people on the internet tell me I should do my radio talk show. I said, I don't have the investments. I have the mind. I don't know where to go. And then on top of that, I have people who don't tend to listen to me because they think my sickness, my voices is a mental illness, but I don't consider it a mental illness. I hear voices, the Holy Spirit. I have no sins in my past. This is a fact. Okay, so then people just don't like to hear that. They don't want to hear the truth. There's a lot of problem people out there, and I don't like them, so I make my videos kind of cringy on purpose so they can go away, because they don't believe. They'll believe they'll believe religion. Okay, let's put it like that. Never seen those gods before, but when I'm speaking in the flesh, they don't believe me. You see what I'm saying? Talking snakes, burning bushes. They'll believe that in their religion. But they can't believe a mere man for telling the truth. What a delusion. Okay, now there's different levels of schizophrenia, okay, which can cause people to be truly delusional, which may make it seem like they are delusional, but they really are, they probably are misdiagnosed. Because some people don't. Let me listen. Some people are just mentally ill through the fact of depression, and they don't hear any voices. Okay, all right. I heard my voices when I was 7 years old. I should be in jail. I could be in jail, but I'm not, because I do hear them, and you do not want to fuck with mine. Okay, all right. Okay, lots of magical things have happened in my life for me listening instead of taking the obvious way. You know, these other beings on the other side don't want to say a cliche. We are being controlled by a certain matriarch system, and the Matrix as well. But let me read what you gotta say here, Jenna. Okay, I'm gonna say your name short because Americans are very Pacific. Okay, you know, so if you got these extra syllables to your name, I'm not gonna pronounce it. Okay, because I'm a badger it. I don't know you personally, and it's not about respect. It's about my memory. And we are all living in a time and era which I don't have time to study your name, okay? All right? My name is Mario. Now, in this country, even they get it wrong. They'll say Mario. You know Mario Brothers? That's not how his name is pronounced. It's Mario Brothers. Super Mario Brothers. How you been? Ask Al Maman. Jenna says, I like watching you. I like watching you too. Y'all should all make your own videos. Every one of you are unique. You are all unique. Okay? If you start reading and researching everything across the board, if you start having a sense of charm and personality and start smiling more, okay, it's very important to do these things. This will make your character more highlighted. But then the masses, which are basically biased in their emotions, may not like you because of the way you look. And it may not be, they might not like the way you sound, because you might sound like you have a high-pitched voice and they don't take you seriously. But that's good. That's actually a good. Okay. Now, let's continue reading your sentences here. I like watching you. Jenna says, I like listening to you and watching you. Please understand that you wrote that wrong. It's listening. You missed the E-N. I like listening to you. You know, don't write I like to listen. Yeah, you can write it, but you got to write the whole sentence is like this. I like listening to you and watching you. Okay, so you see the correction that I've made for you, Jenna. Ask Alman, how have you been? What's going on? I cannot bring you onto the camera because mankind has not reached the peak of its technology, because we are focusing on war production. Okay, you know, everyone's always scared of one another. There's different races that came from different worlds and different planets out there. If you do your research, you'll know I'm telling the truth. The planet Mars once probably had humans on it. I don't know. The planet Venus probably had life on it. I don't know. But those planets are pretty hot and have a low atmosphere. But we are going to talk about solutions to the matriarch, the lying matriarch commonwealth, okay? And I've talked about this before, and then it's on my mind, and then I watch a video and people was talking about Joe Biden and Kala. You have to understand, the more liberal things become, or liberalism becomes, liberalism is not really, to be liberal is not a bad thing. It's when you are too far on the left with liberalism, saying give me, give me, give me, instead of being lazy, 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 okay? Instead of being disciplined, disciplined, disciplined. Liberalism is a mental disorder, okay? And I see it, even with my sort of handicap, okay? I see it, but I try my best to work. I try my best and hardest. Yes, I do. And I don't like handouts. I don't like them. But sometimes the system can be corrupted. And they can either make a mistake or they're not doing their research to help you. They're not trying to. And that's what happened in my predicament. Okay? So understand this, that this video is going to be talking about solutions. So I'm waiting for a few more people to come in here. I've changed my hours. As the seasons and the winter seasons, the fall and winter seasons approach, I usually have more time for you guys out there because my basketball season, which is usually in the spring and in summertime, is coming to a close, okay? I like listening to you, Jenna Toll says. Okay, I like hearing you out too. Write down some things and I'll repeat it back to you. When you write a sentence structure, try to keep it short and sweet and simple. Over time, you become, the more you read, the more you listen, the more you practice, you become more astute in writing longer sentences. When you read books, like I have read a lot of books in my past. And I can see the rhetoric of the white man, okay? And I can see the rhetoric of the black man, okay? But I haven't read too many Asian books or Oriental type of books. It's mostly white. It goes either towards more intellectual or more liberal, okay? And I learned that if you just stay in the middle, you will make it. Don't be too simple, or you'll be considered a simpleton, okay? And don't be too extreme. You'll sound like you have some sort of complex with being superior in your intellectual genius, right? Okay, and you don't want that either. That's boring. Okay, but to some, you might want to go the monotone way. To some, you might want to go the crazy and aloof way. But I am in the middle. I don't want to be too much on the right or on the left. All right. I am more conservative. I like the things the way they are now because I am in America, which is the most powerful country, you may say, in the world because of the Bill of Rights, okay, and the history America has went through, okay, and the slavery and everything included, okay. Now, so let's start talking about that, because I try to keep my videos down under about a half an hour to an hour, depending on what you say to me, because I like to talk. I am a quote-unquote conversationalist, so I can talk about anything and almost everything, okay, and not keep the conversation dull. But sometimes it happens. But most of the time it does not happen. So I am very good with the ladies. And of course, I cannot talk to you women out there. I do not try to hit on you women out there. And as a matter of fact, that's another thing too. Lots of women think that they can trap me. But I'm always a distance away. There's always cameras on me. So be careful. You'll get caught in the webs lie. And this is where I tell women before they get involved, you lie, you die, because women are the biggest liars in the world. Of course, I'm not looking down on every female, but I'm just telling the truth, okay? Women are the biggest liars and manipulators of the world. They wear the makeup and the clown and stuff. And I tell women all of the time, take that stuff off your face. Do you know what that makeup is made of? They don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear that. But I don't want to make it like a man versus woman type thing. Everyone should know what I am not a sexist. I am not a racist. I am not none of those things. I just use common sense. Okay? And if you want to know what common sense is, I'll give you a great example of it before I begin with the solutions to the matriarchal whore, okay? The whore of Babylon, which likes to lie, okay? Common sense is this. Let me ask you a question here, okay? Since no one's saying something. Anybody have anything to say, ask me, okay? Common sense says 1 plus 1 equal to, what does it equal? Does it always equal to 2? I see the word always. Okay, so if you can decipher what I mean by that, 1 plus 1, does it always equal a 2? Answer that question. If you said it always equals a 2, and you had said nothing else external underneath, in the parentheses saying for applied math sciences, you ain't say nothing like that, you are incorrect. Mathematics says in applied math sciences, okay, math, okay, we're using math. Of course, it's going to equal a 2 because you was brought up to be raised that way. But common sense says 1 plus 1 does not always equal a 2. How is this so? Can a 1 plus 1 equal a plus sign? Okay. These is symbolism now. We are going on another page of dimension and time and space, right? Yes. It does. Does it equal a plus? How can it equal a plus? How can 1 plus 1 equal a plus? Because 1 plus 1 equals a plus. Get it? Do you understand that symbolism? Okay. Now, since you can understand there's a pattern here, you have to think in a more schizophrenic dynamic approach. That means different perspectives. Like if you say 1 plus 1 equals a z, how does it equal a z? The question is, how does it? Do you see what I mean? 1 plus 1 can equal an 11. How can 1 plus 1 equal an 11, guys? So, if your answer, okay, your inquisitive questioning comes in your head and say, yes, it can, because 1 and 1 together is an 11. There you go. Now you're starting to open up that third eye. You have to look at things in a peculiar type of way before you make a judgment. So mathematics is not the universal language of the law just by looking at that common sense basis. If it's applied in some arrogant institutional, procedure, then it will equal only. But you know how the white man or the arrogant ones will limit your capability of thinking by saying A plus B equal to C. How the fuck is that possible? Okay, see, now you know we're talking about different type of Pythagorean theorems. We're talking about different types of math. Now you're beginning to understand what I'm saying by common sense. How the hell does A plus B equal to C? There's no numbers involved. There's continents, okay? So you got to think like them, outside the box. And usually 9 times out of 10, if you're schizo, you have most of the answers. If you're not, if you're normal, you're going to be in the liberal aspect of things, okay? Welcome to you all. Please write something down so I can know that you're there. If you don't like listening to me, or if you're sensitive, okay, or if you basically can't write, or you have a bad network, I feel bad for you, okay? It's not your fault, though. And so now let's talk about the solutions to the matriarchal courts and proceedings, because 9 times out of 10, I've already made this video countless times. When people ask me enough times, I will repeat it. And then they will be like, oh, that sounds like a good idea. Yeah, where do you get this information from? Me. Okay? All right? Because I like to look at problems and figuring them out. Okay? All right. Here we go. So when a female has intentions to lie, or to set up, or to anything as a matter of fact, okay, the first thing you must understand is finances. Because finances is the root of most women's interest to lie, okay? All right? And so we already know this is a fact. Both sides. Everybody knows. Okay? A man earned this. How you been, Arnab? How have you been? Okay? Thank you for saying something. When you say something, I know you're there. I know you're paying attention. Okay? The court system will easily fix this matriarchal highway robbery for men losing their own shit, their own property. Okay? And so when a woman has intentions, how you been, Manif? How have you been? How have you been, Manif? Manif is 10 years old. Manif Karim. He's 10 years old, very bright, very astute in his English. Okay? You need a little work on your, you can speak very clear words at times, but sometimes, Manif, you can be kind of fast when you talk, okay? I watched you play that game, and I was shocked. That's why I always wanted boys. I wanted boys because I know their logical side is kicking in more on the feminine side because of me being around a lot of women in my past. And I learned that if you try to talk logical to females, they only go in their emotions, okay? But of course, if you're a boy like Manif, he's a genius, okay? I saw him play this one game. I'm like, I've never seen a game like that where you pick up a wheel and you climb onto this stuff. You got to figure things out on your own. Most women are not interested in games like that, Manif. And you're 10 years old, okay? But that's brilliant that you can actually play those type of games, okay? But in this video, I'm going to be talking about Manif. If you turned on your notifications, congratulations. You can follow instructions more than a lot of people in America. This is amazing for you, man. You're going to make it big. You're going to make it big because you can follow instructions. You didn't look at me as a bad guy, okay? And that's what I appreciate about you, okay? Keep doing what you're doing, Manif, okay? But remember my advice. Slow down and speak more Christian words like you do. You're speaking very good. I can understand you at least about 50 to 60%, Manif. Hello, Evan. Sir, how are you? I am doing fine. You're very good when you speak. Now, your writing is next. If you can write, you can speak. Very good. If you could just fix those little put your punctuations in, okay, your commas, and you keep writing, okay? So I'm going to talk about that and get out of here. I'm going to talk about how it can be fixed. So we know that in a lot of countries, this is going on in other countries because they're adapting and adapting the knowledge from the West. Okay, and in Africa, they don't play that shit. Okay, so Africa is more alpha for the rest of the world, but nobody want to listen to polygyny, okay, which can fix society for stronger men, okay? But in the West, where the white man is at, all across the world, they got these systems in place where women, they believe that women will always be abused, okay, and this is not true. So as time progresses, women start to take advantage of these systems. So the best way to fix these commonwealth matriarchal lying systems is, one, for men, is to take advantage of the matriarch. So the matriarch can never win against the patriarch. Duh. But the matriarch is there as a tool to teach a man a lesson. And when enough men learn, they teach other men not to get married. Marriage is just a tool for women who have captured a weak man, okay? All right? So remember, marriage is bad, okay? For real strong men, they need multiple wives. This is not a sin. This is human nature, all right? And you have to make sure you don't get greedy, take all of the wives in the world. There are enough. Trust me, there are enough wives. It's just that women make poor decisions, okay? They make far more poor decisions than men. So, now the next step here, if a woman is going to court, her whole purpose is money. Most of the time. A woman will use lies and control the family issues and situations in the house. Even though the man has everything in the bag. He has everything in the bag. But she will mess that up because of her selfish ways. She is losing interest in you. This is why other wives are important, because other wives usually tell another wife, you don't do that. You'll bring down the family by doing that. Okay? They want to go out and explore more sexuality when a man only needs one or two wives. Really, truthfully. Now, I'm not going to talk about the man side right now. That's another topic for another day, where some men become greedier. Okay? They want more wives and they want more money and they want more control. That's the whole nother ball game. But that's very rare compared to all of the lies that has been said in the courts. Men lose their houses. Men lose their families. They lose a lot of assets and time. They have to start over. Sometimes money is forced out of their accounts, even though there's no evidence for them being abusive at all. So the solution is simple. Once these proceedings take place in these court systems, the judge must not be a feminist, because it's very important that he hears both sides without making an assumption that there's some evidence, and there is none. If both people come into a case, it should be it should be mandatory that a prenup. A prenup is something where you have personal belongings like houses, money, capital, any form of money. It still stays with the same side, even if it's the woman. If the woman has all the money, it stays with her. But of course, people don't understand. If you play devil's advocate, if I switch my shoes with a woman, imagine how smart I could become to take so many men's property just with a lie. Okay, but women don't want to think like a man. They don't want to put themselves in a man's shoes. They don't want to do that. Instead, they'll go to court. Okay, so to fix this, I don't want to get off sidetrack, because I want to get out of here and get me something to eat, because I just woke up, guys. And if any one of you guys can pay attention, great, and kudos. Kudos to you. Congratulations. Kudos mean congratulations. Very good. Okay, so she goes into court. The judge looks with non-biased eyes. He doesn't hear words. He hears evidence. If the judge just takes the evidence and weighs it, have you noticed this symbolism here? This symbolism is this. Have y'all seen? Okay, hold on. The symbolism of a female, as just her being blindfolded. You can see that's not a male. It's the emotional side. And that causes a lot of problems in society. When you have emotion inside of the justice system, you have to take out the emotion. That's why you see the female with the blindfold on, with the weighing the scales. And that's sad, because it's a woman who's being blind. She's only going on her emotion, not her logical side. So let's continue on here. Let's finish this up here. And so, hello, Muz Zibar. How have you been? If you write something to me, I might not receive it until like 10 seconds later. I might not receive it until 10 seconds later. It depends on the network. So I'm talking about multiple different things. Okay? You can also write things down to me to make this video up to an hour. If you have a sentence you want to type it in, take your time and type it. Okay? And I will correct you and give you the correct pronunciation. I may be mispronouncing that word. But most Americans don't pronounce most of their words correctly 100% of the time anyway, right? So, let's continue on it. So, the woman has intentions to lie, to pull a man down and get his dowry. Okay, his finances. The first thing that judge should be doing, without bias, without emotion. A biasm means you're biased. You're using emotion rather than logic, in fact. This is how most people think, because most of you are religious, correct? So most of you are biased. You use your emotion because how you was raised and trained. Okay, so we're not going to go on your personal life here. Okay? When you go to the judge, they're looking at how emotional she is. You should completely ignore all emotions. Okay? If she says he's been hit and hurt, that could be a setup in a lie. How can you determine if a female has been damaged? by that man when that man's telling you, I didn't touch her, sir. First of all, if there's no video, that has to be thrown out. There's no video of it. And if she does have those bruises and she actually did hurt herself, then you can remove her from his premises. You see what I'm saying? Put her in a safe house. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I see how things go. When it comes to abuse, when it comes to a sexual assault, like a man actually touching a woman, words don't mean shit. Okay? Because a woman can fight back. Or she can file a report saying, you have to find evidence for these things. You can't just say, oh, this has happened. This has to change in the court system. We cannot go on biased results. Say this is what some judges has told me. Okay, some judges told me they do a precautionary to take measures to put it in her hands. But that's not wise. That's going to ruin marriage. Okay, so that's what you want, right? Okay, so it doesn't matter. It's a double-edged sword. So if a judge is biased and he says, oh, I feel to take safety measures, even though that man earned all this shit, even though she may be lying, okay, he gives shit to her. This is a negative. So instead of doing that, if a woman's complaining, is she paying the bills? Is she doing all the things that she's supposed to be doing in that house? Is the bill split 50-50? Okay, these things are not even asked in the courts in America, especially they're not. So I'm just talking about solutions. So take her out of the house, okay, away from her kids, but she has visitation rights, okay. Give the, visitation rights is okay unless there's proof that there is some sort of abuse going on. Most of the time, judges don't listen to the proof. They don't need evidence. They're just taking safety precautions to choose the woman's side over the more responsible side. All right? So this has to be eliminated. All right? And the woman must be removed from his premises because he is the more responsible person to do what he's supposed to be doing. And lots of women who listen to me, they'll be like, oh, no, but that's how it should be. But we're living in a time where people are mostly raised by emotional parents, not logical parents, not disciplined parents. All right, and if you are religious, you have to listen. The Bible in every religion is a patriarch, babies. Sorry, women, but please understand that in both religions. It says a man is allowed to discipline his wife. I don't give a fuck if it's the Old Testament or New. If you just read that once in the Bible or in the Quran, please understand that's a patriarch, okay? And it's written by mostly by a man, okay? All right? You got to understand the history of religion. So we're not talking about religion here. Most of you do not have the time to do the research in religion, okay? So that's how you fix the justice matriarch system. Manif says, I want to be a native speaker like you, sir. Well, it's going to take some time. But by you writing like that, and it's pretty much 90% accurate how you wrote that, you'll be a Native American speaker very quickly. Okay? Your accent is not important. The problem comes when your accent is immerging the English word and twisting it. If you're talking real fast and you say two words together and your accent is included with that, I won't understand you. If you are saying a word you don't understand, okay, you take it out of context, I won't understand you. So slow and steady wins the race. Take your time. Repeat back the sentence that you said. Say to yourself, does this sentence sound correct? I want to be a native speaker like you, Evans, sir. Okay, say it. What is a better way of writing that sentence, guys? I want to sound like a Native American speaker. I want to be a Native American speaker. There's many ways of writing a sentence. And this is the great thing about English. It can happen in your language too. There's many ways of speaking. So you can rephrase it if you need. You could rephrase it in a simple way. You could rephrase it in a more complex way. Remember, simple is alpha to me. If you can be simple when you speak, you're good to go. Most of the people in the world can understand alpha waves to be simple. But once you go to beta alpha, a sigma alpha, this is a problem. This could be a problem for the general people. And then you'll think yourself as a so-called imperialist. You don't want to be high up there in the clouds. Trust me, you don't. It's a very lonely place. All right? So I've talked about multiple things. And Manif, thank you very much for joining this video. This is the first time I've seen you on here. I know who you are. I see your gaming skills. Okay? I hear your voice. Okay? And of course, I will post this in a YouTube. I will post this on my live public page. And I will post this in my private group as well, because I'm usually in multiple platforms. Okay? And so let's do a summary of what I just said. In order to combat lying women, I'm just talking about lying women, the judges have to go upon facts and evidence. Facts and evidence mean you do not take precautionary measures and just choose the woman's side through biased emotions. We use facts. It doesn't matter what he says. It doesn't matter what she says. It goes on facts. If she says she's been hurt, is there video footage showing that he beat the living shit out of her? Okay? All right. Okay, I will try. There you go. So, okay is with an A. So, make sure O-K-A-Y. I will try. Okay, and then a comma. Okay, I will try. A comma pauses after a sentence. After a word. Or you're trying to... You said, yes, but... Okay. You always put the comma right after where you're pausing at. Okay? It is my pleasure. All right? So, we're going on a summary of what we were just talking about. Arnob, okay, says, sir, you always capitalize the first letter of your sentence, guys. Sir, I can a little bit. I can a little bit is not a proper sentence. Okay, you got to write the whole thing out, okay, when you're trying to express something from a past tense. Okay, but how to speed up my talk? If you can't write, you can't talk. So let's not worry about speed up. Let's worry about slowing down. That is common sense. By slowing down, you eventually become to speed up. Do not try to speed up before you can slow down. Okay, guys? So the summary is to combat lying women in the court of highway robbery of a great man, okay? And also causing men to rise up anyway, because the more lies, the more women are going to die, okay? Because men come together much more compactful than females coming together. We should know this, okay, you guys. So, combat it by using evidence rather than emotional conjecture, okay? Which a lot of white, effeminine and judges do. Okay, so is there evidence for this? I would be scared. When I went to court with my wife was like, there was no evidence for none of the things. It just chose her side. And so they removed me from my house, my place, which I'm paying the bills. And that's wrong, because she said she was being abused mentally. Okay, there was no physical abuse. There was no evidence of any mental abuse. It's just they chose the wrong choice. And now I'm smart enough to come back on my feet because I have a plan beyond the plan. And this is what they believe that is right. The courts believe that this is good to put a man in suffering, which is not good for society as a whole. It's not. But of course, I'm going to title this video something different because I don't want to repeat myself so many times. I can talk a little bit. I can speak a little bit what? Okay? What you mean clearly? Okay, Arnob? Okay, I can speak a little bit. Okay, just say you shouldn't even write that. Okay, don't write that. That's a waste of time and space. But how can I speed my talk? I just explained to you that write what you feel, but not like that. Don't even write, I can talk a little bit. Okay, unless we're having a open conversation. And then I'm talking about something and you're adding in context what I'm speaking about. Okay, but we're not on the live video. So as you already know that when you're writing things, there's a lot of information that can be misconstrued. Okay, so you don't really need to write all that. Let's write down, but how can I speed up my talk? See? Don't worry about speeding up your talk. Learn how to write and speak appropriately, slowly. Because if you can't talk slowly, you're out of there, okay? All right? But other than that, we already discussed it. It's simple Ebonics, African talk, okay? Lowly. We are speaking in alpha terms, okay? The slang is simple, okay? It's not hard. English is the most easiest of all languages in the world. And it's not subjective. Someone said, no, it's not. I can prove it to you, okay? And then when I show it to them, that the English language is more straight, okay, with less curves, you'll notice that you'll know I'm telling the truth, okay? All right, okay? But other languages, it's a calligraphy of art and beauty, which has so much emotion that even Americans admire it so, and they'll tattoo it on their fucking necks too. Okay, I see lots of Americans love the Asian style of art, of how the alphabet is written in Oriental languages, and even including in yours. But it's not popular, okay? It has to be popular. Okay, and the media has to advertise it a certain way, and people want to say, I like that. That is so pretty. What language is that? Bangladeshi, Manglanoilish, okay, Chinese, okay, there's a Amharic, okay, there's a lot of languages that has beautiful art calligraphy, but American style in language is not as beautiful. Not because I was raised, but I'm looking at it with a keen eye, a sharp eye. I can see the difference between the letter A compared to your letter A in your country. I can see the difference, okay? And you have to take the time to be meticulous to break those things down, which most people are not interested in doing, okay? But other than that, I've been talking for like about 47 minutes. There is a lawnmower guy outside at the wrong time mowing the lawn because maybe they're spying on me. Maybe they don't want me to talk. I don't know, okay? But of course, I'm going to retitle this on the YouTube. And you can watch my YouTube under Amartya's Knowledge. And I will put it down here if you want. But listeners' discretion is advised. The YouTube is called Amartya's Knowledge 4. And that's my YouTube. Okay, but do not watch my YouTube unless you are not sensitive, you are not emotional, and you like to learn. Because when you're religious, you can't learn as much. When you're so astute in professionalism, you can't learn as much. Okay, you got to learn little things in every department. Become a renaissance. A renaissance is someone who knows a little bit about everything and anything. Okay? So peace and love to brothers and sisters. Like and welcome to my page. Welcome to my videos. And you have a nice fucking. Fucking is actually a swear word. Which is not intended for professionalism, but is used for comical relief. Also is good for expression of emotion. It is a bad word to most people. Okay? But comedians, real good comedians, like to swear. So what the fuck you have to say, okay? So don't use it, okay? If your country is sensitive, okay? Or non-comical, or too serious. Remember, the more serious a country is, the more boring they become. You gotta be somewhere in the middle, and you have to stay in the middle. But you gotta be right. I mean, you could be a little past higher than the middle. You could be a little bit of discipline, but don't go too low. Don't go below 50%. Okay, guys. And you get to you're uneducated. Okay, this get to the middle point, go a little to 70%, but don't go too far. I'm like right there in 70% bracket. Okay, peace.